It is finally possible to A/B test your Shopify checkout using Intelligems, but only if you're under Shopify Plus. I will show you what you can test, why it matters, and exactly how to do it step by step. A checkout experience in Intelligems is a content block you can add directly to your Shopify checkout page and deploy it live, just like you would do with your Shopify checkout blocks app. Except then here, you can actually A/B test those. Again, this is only for Shopify Plus merchants. Right now with Intelligems, there are 3 block types: trust badges, callouts, and static images. Here are a few examples of for your brands. You can use badges with icons, selecting icons from Intelligems library, and then you have title, subtitle. You can customize all of this inside of Intelligems experiences. You can also, instead of having icons, use your own images if you wanted to match your own branding. And you can also select the location in the checkout where you want the content block to appear. So for example, here it is right after the CTA. Here it is right after the summary at the top. So this is also something you can speed test. As you can see, the layout is also different here. We've got borders when here we don't have any border. So this is an extra customization that you can do. Here we've got callouts. Callouts are incredibly useful because they are very optimized, very small. They don't take much space in your checkout, and you can position them exactly where you need to address your shopper's objections. You can use them for shipping, warranty, or payment method. It is very useful. Lastly, you can use static images, especially if you want the fonts in your images to match your own brand style and not the one from Intelligems default or checkout default. And again, you can use no borders, or you can have a border and a background like this. Intelligems team said that additional blocks like countdown timers, upsells, recommendations, and reviews are coming soon. So I'll keep you updated on those. It is going to be pretty exciting to test. Here are a few things that you can test with the checkout blocks. You can use different trust badges, test if your audience react better to shipping badges, warranty badges, test different combinations. You can then test copywriting, then placement, and finally layout. Layout being the least important, but still you want to make sure that it matches your branding. Then personalized checkout based on how each segment reacts to your experiences. So for example, if you launch a trust badge and you realize that on mobile it converts a lot better, but not on desktop, then what you want to do is deploy the experience on mobile exclusively and exclude desktop. I've put together for you 20 checkout examples from 8 and 9-figure brands that are crushing it, like Olipop, Olukai, Jumbis, and many others. The link is in the description. It's totally free, and you will find mobile examples and also the desktop version. I highly recommend you check those out to see exactly how the big brands are optimizing their checkout. So why test checkout blocks? Because it is the last step of the buying journey. Normally at that stage, your customer has made a decision to buy from you. You just need to make sure that nothing gets in the way. Adding the right trust message or reassurance can turn hesitation into action. This is why when you look at most of those brands, like you can see on the screen, they use the trust badges or customer review right after the last call to action, the pay now button, because that's where usually people can have the last objection. A simple line like free returns within 30 days or secure payment badge can give that last bit of confidence to complete the order. But not every brand, product, or audience react the same way. Some shoppers might care more about fast shipping, some other might care more about warranty or secure payment, and this is why you should test. Intelligems lets you measure exactly which version of your checkout actually converts better and for who. So the goal here is to really reduce friction, increase trust, and drive more conversions at checkout without touching the code. I will now show you exactly step by step how to launch a checkout test inside of Intelligems. We will follow this quick guide, and I will link this Google Doc in the description so you can follow along. The first step is to draft your blog idea. I recommend that you look for inspiration and try not to reinvent the wheel. See what's working for other brands and adapt it to your own style and USPs. You can use my checkout library for that, which is what we've seen earlier in Figma, and find your 3 strongest unique selling propositions or trust signals. Most brands keep it simple and focus on social proof, shipping, and guarantee. If you check all those different examples I put in the Figma, you realize that most of the time it's about guarantee, shipping, and social proof. It's because these address the most common objections for pretty much every industry. And this is a quote that I got from this book, which I highly recommend. It's a pretty good read. Simplicity is an act of selection, not compression, from the Bezos blueprint. So once you have found your 3 points, don't overthink the copy because you can always refine and test wording later. You can always iterate in the future. Step 2, create your block in Intelligems. So inside of Intelligems, you want to click on checkout and then on new checkout experiences. There you want to select the layout that you think will fit best for your brand. For this example, I will choose this one, badges title. And here you can customize pretty much everything that you're seeing. You can customize the border, it's at the bottom, I guess, block. If you want to have a background color or transparent, you can have dots or a line for the border. Then you can customize the title. So for example, here, the heading, I'm gonna remove it. So it's slightly smaller. Then for the badges, you can customize everything, layout, typography, color, appearance, etc. If you want to remove badges or add more, you can add from there. You can add up to 15 badges. And here, if you want, for example, to remove the subtitle for all of them, you can just do it this way. If you want to change the color of the icons, you can do it from there. I'm going to put success for all of those. And you can choose if you want icons or if you want images directly from there. You want to make sure to give your block a clear name and the location ID. This is being done at the top, so I'm going to keep Trust Badge 1 and Trust Badge 1 as location ID. Don't worry, this is internal, so your customers will not see it. And then once you're done with everything, you can just click on next. There, this is step 3. You have the possibility to choose between publish it directly, which is this option. It's the experience, in which case you can publish it site-wide or for a specific audience, or you can create a checkout test. I recommend you create a test so you can measure the impact of your block. Because unless you test, you will never know how it affects your KPI. Maybe it adds 12% profit per visitor, or maybe it drops 4%. Either way, you will know what to improve next. So we'll choose create a new test. I'll call it checkout test. And here, the next step will be to set up the block location in checkout. So what you want to do here is click on this blue button, complete Shopify checkout, and click on Shopify admin. Then basically what you want to do is follow the steps highlighted here. So we're going to click on customize, and this will send us to the checkout. So as you can see, we're already using checkout block apps right here. But basically what you want to do is select exactly in which location you want to showcase your block. For this example, I'm going to put it right here, right under the block that we already have. So we want to click on block, but as you can see here, you could add it pretty much anywhere. Like if you wanted to have at the top, you can. There are, I think, 4 different areas where you can paste the block. So here you want to type Intelligems, click add, and then you want to paste the location ID right here. So normally it should be here in your test. There you go. And then you just want to click save, and then drag the block where you want it to be. So let's say we want it right here, so that when people are on mobile, it's going to be right after the pay now button. I'm going to click on save. And now if we go back on Intelligems, I can click on done. When you have selected the location, you can come back to the test, and that's where we're going to configure the rest. You can add more block by clicking in here, or you can add modification anywhere on the test, but keep things simple at first. Test one channel at a time with no extra variable. In the targeting tab, it's the next step. You can choose which audience you want to include in the test, and then you can configure which analytics you want to track first. I recommend you use profit per visitor right here. Then what you can do is preview, so you need to save the test first, then click on preview, and then open screen preview. And then what you want to do is click on new group, and then we're going to add one product to cart, checkout. And as you can see, we are now seeing the banner right here. Here we've got a black background, so I should have used white color for the icons and the text, but this is just to show you how this is working. Once you validate how the icons are looking like, you can check on mobile and desktop. You can go back here and finally click on start a test. Make sure to QA everything before.